That was the event. That was first.
So we should have started. All day.
Right at the beginning. Thank you.
We'll call to order this November meeting of the North Manchester Town Council. We welcome everyone in the room. We appreciate your presence. Are there any changes to the agenda? No changes to the agenda. We have two sets of minutes to consider this evening, one from September 17th and one from October 1st.
Move approval. Second.
We moved to the second to approve those two sets of minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Next, we have the first opportunity on our agenda for any visitor comments. If you would like to comment to council this evening, please approach the podium. Give us your name and address. Keep your remarks to 2 minutes. And if you ask any questions, they will be answered at our next regular meeting. Would anyone like to approach council?
Good evening, my name is Lola Cody. What else do you want?
Address.
110 West 4th Street, Title 44, here in North Manchester. I moved back in 21. Born and raised here, but moved out of state, got married. Anyway, I went in and saw Tom because I'm having trouble with Frontier. I accidentally, it was out of my mind a little bit when I wrote the check, and I wrote the check for too much money. And I've been working on it since the 7th, when they said that they had received my payment of $690. And I put in the slip that you put in with it that I was paying $39.99. And I've been talking to different people, and they keep promising me this and that. They're going to have it there. They'll send me out a check. The check was sent the 14th. Now the last one was they're going to have it in my bank account by last Friday. It wasn't. So I called again, and she said, well, depends on how long it takes their bank to transfer it. But I will get it back. I'm looking for a 800 number for them. I can't find one. You call the number and you get someone in another country. And my understanding that if you request to speak to someone in the United States, they're supposed to give you someone, and they won't. They won't give me anyone. I don't know how to get in touch with them to talk to someone that maybe has some authority to make this happen. And then they even sent me a bill for this month, so I went ahead and paid that because I didn't know what would happen if I didn't.
We don't normally answer questions at this point. But
I understand it has to be on the agenda, yeah.
The fact is that the town has no jurisdiction over Frontier. My best advice to you would be to contact an attorney.
Why should I have to pay money to get my money back?
Well, if I were in your situation, that would be my last resort.
So if they promise you something, they don't do it, isn't that fraud?
I have no idea. An attorney could answer that question.
Well, I'll call the governor's office then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Bob Sklar, 116 West Main Street, North Manchester. I was here a couple meetings ago, and you guys talked about how with the new budget, and you're being fiscally conservative and responsible with the funds. And I brought up some concerns about your overzealous spending. And one of your colleagues here, Palmer Tobias, to quote him, gibberish. So here's the facts. While you were the board president, in 2018 and 2019, the town council voted themselves a 21 and 19% raise respectively, while the salary ordinance for the town was 3%. And you've been having those raises go on 3% along with the town since then. But that's where the major increase came from. So much for your gibberish. And you're saying that's gibberish because that's right off the budget that's filed with data. And I just found it interesting that you were the one that was president at the time. So salaries for town council members, while you're trying to be fiscally responsible, have gone up collectively. You know, in 2016, you were getting about $4,800. Now you're getting $9,000. Jim, you're getting $10,000 as the president. We talk about fiscal responsibility. We should also look at the fact that we've already got the highest sewer rates probably in the state, if not definitely the region, and it's going up again. But yet we're spending money on things like clock cameras. Anybody know what clock cameras are? No? Okay. So these are surveillance cameras that the town has paid for $9,000 a year. 2 of them are in the county. They're not even in town. And they provide continuous surveillance on anybody driving around in or out of the town. One's out on 13 Eagle Road out by Stein Tire. Another one's out by Chester Fire. And then one's right here in front of Burger, the new burger place. So I just find it ironic that you talk about fiscal responsibility, but yet there's all kinds of fraud, waste, and abuse going on, which is authored by the town council. So I know you're not going to do anything about it. You're not going to change your ways. You're going to vote this increase in. But I think more and more people, and hopefully people online who are listening, need to start looking and watching what you're doing, because collectively you're hurting the town. The population of the town, when you started voting those increases in, was around 6,000. We're now at 4,900. We're losing a 0.5% or so a day. So the budget keeps going up. 2024 town budget went up 7%. 2025 it's planned to go up 12%. So you've been doing 6, 9, 4, 7, 12% increases year over year. That's not sustainable in any minutes. I think my 2 minutes is up.
Ordale, Road 5, State Road 13 West. I was informed that the week prior to October 12th, that Parkview Ambulance was no longer to respond to my address. That is a service that we pay for. They are the only service that comes into town. How can they deny 911 service? Was what my question is.
Before we investigate that, who was it that informed you of that?
It was one of them from the fire truck. Which one? I don't remember. I've had way too much on my mind to remember names.
We'll respond next month.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hope we don't have to.
Thank you. Moving on to unfinished business, item number 1 is the water rate ordinance, general ordinance number 7 on 3rd reading, carried by title only.
An ordinance amending the rates and charges for the use of and services rendered by the waterworks system of the town of North Manchester, Indiana.
Any remarks?
Just briefly, this is our final rates that we had. We started advertising a little higher than what we ended up at. Just as kind of a reference, we're right around $26 for the minimum 3,000 gallon user. It'll end up after this rate increase around $38.63 will be the minimum user for the water. Most of this increase, if not all, is all tied to the project that we're doing for infrastructure around the community, including the automatic meter reading system that we've already been completed. So we're been able to help quite a few, people with that. I think within each week, we have a half dozen that we're contacting about a water leak of some sort. And so pre-med tech was the latest one that I ended up called. And so within 30 minutes, they found where the leak was and their water went way down. So we stayed in and it is a project related, this increase. Been talking about this for quite a long time, not just a few meetings, but a couple years. I know we're doing this.
I have a motion.
Move approval?
Right.
Been moved and seconded to approve the water rate ordinance, general ordinance number 7 on third and final reading. Any discussion? I think we've had a lot of discussion about the needs and about the project, as you said, over the last couple of years. And what we need in order to make the improvements that need to be made, we have to finance it. And this is the only vehicle that we have to be done.
And that's a good point. This is the payback, a bond that we're taking out to pay for this project. So we have to have these rates sufficient enough to pay the bond back.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Number 2, sewer use ordinance amendments, general ordinance number 8 on third reading by title only. Carrie.
Town of North Manchester Sewer Use Ordinance, General Ordinance Number 8, 2025, an ordinance amending specific sections of the municipal code of the town of North Manchester.
Sewer use ordinance, these are required changes that we have. We already have the current sewer use ordinance, but when we renewed our permit recently, IDEM had suggestions working with Commonwealth that we need to update our sewer use ordinance to bring us up to their standard of what they want to see in that. That is always changed.
Motion.
Move approval?
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve sewer use ordinance amendments, general ordinance number 8 on third and final reading. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Imagine 85 funding request. Adam?
At the last meeting, our fireman who was there in attendance came and gave us an update on what he's been working on. And as part of that work, they have a budget that helps them operate and operate on 10 he has tasks to do. So his request for 2026 year is for $10,000. Previously, the council had a 3-year commitment prior to this, and so this would be just for a year basis to have this $10,000 budgeted to help their efforts, and that's why vital company that we are adopted. So
Motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the Imagine 85 funding request. We continue to see a lot of positive things from something that started, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And it's continuing to improve not only our community, but the entire county. And we appreciate your work, Connor.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Under new business, 2026 salary ordinance, general ordinance number 9 on first reading. Carrie?
General Ordinance Number 9, 2025, an ordinance establishing the 2026 pay plan for the town of North Manchester, Indiana. Whereas the town council shall annually by ordinance fix the compensation of elected officials and shall provide reasonable compensation for other town officers and employees. And whereas the annual salary ordinance must define compensation, including fringe benefits of all employees in town of North Manchester. Now therefore be it ordained by the town council of the town of North Manchester that the 2026 salary and pay plan for all employees, appointed members of the boards and commissions, compensation of elected officials, and other compensation matters is hereby adopted to it.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve general ordinance number 9, 2026 salary ordinance. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Number 2, stormwater ordinance update, general ordinance number 10 on first reading.
General ordinance number 10, 2025, an ordinance amending specific sections of the municipal code of the town of North Manchester. The following shall be added to Title 5, Public Works as Chapter 54, and shall be known as the Stormwater Management Ordinance.
I'm not gonna read the whole ordinance, because it's about 34 pages long. We'll have a copy of the town hall, if anybody would like to see that. Our current ordinance that was established back in the 90s was only a couple pages long. And so a lot has changed since then, and what we need to really be looking at when we have businesses expand or industries come to town, to basically protect the surrounding adjacent properties, when we have stormwater to handle differently than. When I would give our current ordinance to current developers, they would have a lot of questions that our ordinance didn't really allude to. So with the help of Commonwealth on this, we've kind of brought up to speed on what the general provisions are that other communities have had around the state. And so we've expanded upon that, and now we have an ordinance and plus a technical manual that then can help guide, which is even longer, I think, than the actual ordinance itself, but at least details all those questions that design engineers have when they come to do a stormwater project. So having a fair amount of projects in town, and this used to be maybe one time a year we might have a stormwater project. Now we're getting about 2 to 3 a year, and I continue to think gain more. And so I want to have something that we can give to them that's going to be value to our community. The Stormwater Board has already approved this ordinance back in our revisions back in August, so we just need to have the council. Recommend that we.
Move approval?
Moved and seconded to approve the general ordinance number 10, stormwater ordinance update on first reading. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. That completes our regular agenda. Moving on to departmental and commission reports. Police Department.
Yes, we had 2 officers participate in trunk or treat, passing out candy at the park. They said they enjoyed it, so I expect they'll want to do more activities like that in the future. Some officers made a traffic stop late one evening. They helped find a missing person out of Iowa and help get them back to safety. Then also Ray Howard completed a defensive tactics training to help train the trainers. Now he's going to come back and train us to keep us up on our certifications.
Any questions for Chief? Thank you, Chief. Next, Chief.
Oh, the only 2 things I have is that Sean Bishop, Greg Bishop, David Cordell, and Brandon Whitcraft conducted the fire safety education on October 10th at elementary school, like they do every year. And on October 24th, I took fire truck up to the MELC to show the kids and give a ride to the winning family. They had a fundraising auction. And one of the prizes was getting to ride the fire truck. So
Cool.
that was fun. Made their day.
Good. A lot of smiles. Any questions, Cam? Thank you, Cam. Dave?
I guess after not having a BZA or Plan Commission meeting the last couple months, we got a big one coming up in November. Got several things on the agenda for BZA and Plan Commission. Emails will be going out soon. Laura.
Any questions for Dave? Thank you, Dave. Midcore, Adam?
I think I mentioned before we were looking to, when Medford approved of selling 26 acres out in the industrial parks, that purchase agreement since was rescinded. And they came back with looking at a 5-acre parcel. So we are looking to close on that yet this week on that sale of that parcel from Industrial Park. It'll be for the medical device research and development company. Looking to add 3 jobs maybe initially and then expand to 6 or 7, 8. Kind of a building similar to what Springfield Plastics did out there with an expansion in the near future. So excited for that business to come, and they are just got the state design release today, I believe, Dave. So they're hoping to move dirt in a couple weeks as soon as the stormwater plan is approved.
Maybe the orthopedic capital's coming this way.
Doesn't hurt.
Park and Rec, Jennifer?
Right here. We had our pumpkin hunt on the 27th at Orville Park. That went well, and thanks to the fire department and police department for coming and handing out candy. We also had our fall break day camp when the kids were out of school. We averaged 10 kids each day, so that was well attended. And the landscaping has been completed at Orville Park to create a screen in between the gazebo and the pickleball courts, as well as the waterfall and the pickleball courts.
Stuff going on.
Yes. And we're still trying to get things dialed in with the new dehumidification system. It's had its ups and downs.
Any questions for Jennifer? Thank you, Jennifer. RDC?
Met and we had our RFP opening. We did have 1 respondent, which is different than our last housing development. So we're kind of early stages of working through the negotiation, I guess, on that and kind of letting Matt lead us on what our next steps are. So we're happy to have that 1 respondent and look forward to kind of stage 2 or phase 2 of our housing development online too.
Progress. Anything from solid waste, Gary?
Nope. Plug it on.
Public Works, Shannon?
Beckley Street it's running. There's just a couple punch list items left to do, but overall it's probably 99.9% complete. So that's pretty nice to have that done. We did get all our sludge hauled out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday last week out to the Roost property south of town, butts up next to our industrial park out there. Roughly, and I'm guessing because I don't have numbers from them, around 650,000 gallons. So averaged about 5.9% solids on it. So that was really good. Figure going into the digesters, we're usually about 2.5 to 2.7. So we picking it up saves a lot of money in the end run because they charge by the gallon. So other than that, that's pretty much all I got.
Any questions for Shannon? Thank you, Shannon. Craig?
Fall cleanup was a couple weeks ago, which Adam can tell you, it was a little busier than it has been the last few years. For some reason, the numbers went back up. And we're tickled to death. We got our new leaf machine in.
Looks like a beast. When I see
It's something, yeah, Dwight put the cab on it, so the cab is all Dwight, but tomorrow we should make our first pass through town by tomorrow, if not Friday for sure, so it's working as advertised. It's working pretty good, so we're happy.
Good. And I think everybody's happy that the leaves get picked up.
Good.
Ryan?
The water main bore job on South Market, they completed the bore. The pipe did pressure test, so that's a good thing. It's sampled. We just have to hook it up on the south side of the bridge on it, and hopefully that'll be next week, and then that job will be taken care of. So another item off of the list here soon. Still working through the growing pains of all the new meters. It's a great thing, just tying up some loose ends, and then having a front row seat to the bridge construction is less than desirable. But seeing as how it sounds like we're gonna have a year and a half of that, I probably need to get used to it, so.
Thank you. Town manager's report, Evan.
Submitted our 2025-2 community crossings application last Tuesday, so we will wait to hear hopefully in the next 4 to 6 weeks if we get awarded that. The streets will be the College Avenue, Manchester Mile section, East 4th Street, and Stratford Road will be on that list. For the Ear River Commons, we're to the point where I've got to talk to the downtown building owners to try to acquire the alley that we want to improve. Right now, it's within each individual building owner's property, so we need to acquire that so we can make the improvements that we want to, and hopefully everybody will benefit from that nicer passage back there, because the current one is it's a little rough sometimes being next to the river.
Yeah.
Obviously Ryan brought up about the bridge that's upon us. We're at single lane, which the last few days, if you sit there, you don't have to sit too long. So thankfully the light kind of keeps you moving. In addition, obviously the cover bridge got closed down prematurely with what we hoped. I was hoping to make it to the end of the year. But some damage over the weekend caused the county to say, we're just going to go ahead and shut her down now because we don't anticipate it getting any better. Particularly when the South Market Street Bridge closes sometime at the end of the year. So they went ahead and put concrete blocks there. So pedestrians and bikes can go through, but vehicles can't. So we're just going to have to, as long as nobody sets up a toll booth there at the one lane, it should be all right. But that's going to be our way out of east of town. I think that was all I've got.
I went through the Main Street Bridge, the stop lights a couple of times today, and it was smooth.
Yeah. Road tight, don't stick your arm out the window going over the bridge.
Yeah.
It's tight.
Yeah. Well, I about slapped that person who was putting the rocks together. For treasurer, Gary?
Couple dockets tonight. Our town docket is $1,048,773.30. And our utility docket is $665,381.22.
We pay our bills.
Second.
Moved and seconded to pay our bills. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. A second opportunity for any visitors in the room to approach council, the same parameters that I announced at the beginning of the meeting. Anyone wish to approach the podium? Thank you. Any council comments?
I would just like to talk about the visitor comments. The reason that we don't respond immediately is because in many cases, like this evening, it can be an issue that's several years old. We don't have that information here in front of us. It can be an issue that involves a town employee. We're not going to pull a town employee up in front of us in a meeting here and ask them what's happened. So, but I want to make it clear, I think we do a very good job of following up on these type of questions and issues. And I think we do respond to them. And but just sometimes I think people, and I understand it's not easy to, have us not give you an answer, but we need to give you an answer that's correct. And we need to understand what we're saying for a lot of different reasons. And so just want everybody to understand we want to make sure that we're accurate when we are responding.
Thank you. Anyone else? Our next regular meeting is December the 3rd. We are adjourned.
Have a good night.
Which